Okay, so as I said, we started with the STAAR test. This is the 2022 version for eighth grade math. They gave you a formula sheet, right? They also give you graph paper. Now, on the online, since STAAR, I believe, is online this year, you're probably going to get all of this stuff as a digital version. But you can still work through and work on and maneuver as well, especially if your computer's touchscreen. If not, they'll probably give you a mouse. Okay, you'll also be given a graphing calculator, things like that. But we're going to go through this as if I don't have any of those things. And I'm not worried about solving at the moment because solving is something by now we should be able to do. We need to be able to figure out what is this thing asking. And so I have with me some highlighters, and I'll just go through a couple of these just to get you started. And then the next few videos will be a lot longer where we're really breaking these down. But as it says, directions, read each question carefully. That's the most important part. Read carefully. Okay. If you didn't know this, majority of the STAR questions, especially the multiple choice portions, most of the questions are the choices are there to mess with you. Two of them will be absolutely wrong, and one of them will be partially correct, and the third and the last one will be the obviously the correct answer. But if we look at it logically, we should be able to figure it out. So the first thing we need to do, highlight what they're asking us to do or what's important information. So we know this thing is graphed, right? It says it's transform using the rule xy to negative x comma y. So what is happening to that point to create this new point here? Okay, so that means if I were to pick, let's say h, let's just say h is 2 comma 3, because it is. Well, negative x, negative y tells me that this x becomes negative. So my new h should be negative 2, and my y stayed the same. So that should be 3. So now I just need to go down to my answer choices and see which one of those tells me that. So I don't even know what the rule is at this point, but by the time I get down here and see which answer choice fits, I will. So if I did all the points, which that could be time consuming, remember, we're doing transformations because it said transformed up here. When we're doing transformations, what you do to one point, you do to them all. So all we need to do is find the one where it says it's negative 2 comma 3. Okay, so this one says negative 2 comma positive 3. So I'm going to put a check next to that just to make sure I don't find another one that says negative 2 comma 3. So negative 2 comma negative 3, that's a cross out. Okay, we have 3 comma 2, that's wrong. Okay, we have 2 comma negative 3, that's wrong. So the only possible choice is this one because of the answer choice and us doing the work logically. Okay, so this one wasn't that bad of a question. Let's look at the next one. Number 2, diagram shows a right triangle, so that's important, right triangle, and the two lengths of its sides in inches. So this looks like Pythagorean theorem, so I would write, I'm just going to write like Pythag. Okay, because that's sloppy, but this tells me I'm doing that. I know the formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But what do they want us to find? So these two are the legs. So these are a and b. So what's missing? C. So it says which measurement is closest to the value of d? Keyword closest, right? So that means we might not get an exact value. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write our formula in because we know on our formula sheet that c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. So that means our work, and this isn't a lot of guessing, but we should know logically this should be the largest side of my triangle. So that means it cannot be G or F. It just can't. So now we have to pick between H and J. My guess is going to be H, but let's double check. So we're going to do 7.9 squared plus 11.9 squared, and we're going to take the square root of that. So let's go do 7, and I'll just put this here so you can see it. 7, scientific, clear. 7.9 squared is going to give me 62.41. We're going to add that to clear 11.9 squared, which is 141.61. Okay, so let's add those together, plus 62.41. So obviously we can see that 204.02 is not there. We know 196, by the way, the square root of 196 is equal to 14. Just giving you a reference point, so we know my number should be close to that. So now if I take the square root of this, I'm going to push the square root button, boom, okay? The square root of that is 14.28, and it says closest, so if this is equal to 14.28, that rounds to about 14.3. H is my answer. Okay, so like I said, this is a touch or a taste of what's going to be coming on the rest of these. We have about 40 questions to do to get through the STAAR. We've done 2 just to show you. If you like this content, follow for more, but I am going to go through the rest of the STAAR just like this. So be on the lookout for more parts, and then I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.